Did you know that a Formula One steering wheel can cost more than a luxury sports car? But it's not just because of the materials, it's because of what's hidden inside. Technology so advanced that even fighter pilots would envy it. Before I tell you, tell me in the comments. What do you think is the most important button on an F1 steering wheel? Because this could change the way you see the top category of motorsport. 2014, the turbo hybrid era and the arrival of LCD screens. With the introduction of hybrid engines in 2014, steering wheels underwent another big change. An LCD screen was incorporated that provided drivers with detailed information in real time. They could now see data on engine status, energy consumption, race strategies and tire status without relying solely on the radio with their team. This advancement meant that drivers had to manage not only their driving, but also energy and power-saving strategies depending on the race. 2020, Mercedes DS system and the latest major innovation. One of the most controversial changes in steering wheel history occurred in 2020 with the introduction of Mercedes DS, dual-axis steering system. This innovative system allowed drivers to modify the alignment of the front wheels by pulling or pushing the steering wheel forward or backward. With this function, they could optimize wheel toe-in depending on the phase of the race, increasing speed on straights or improving tire warm-up. The system was questioned by several teams, but was deemed legal for the 2020 season. However, it was banned for 2021, proving that steering wheel evolution remains a key area in Formula One and that any advantage can be removed if it is deemed to break the balance of competition. The present, custom steering wheels for each driver and team. Today, each team develops its own steering wheel, optimizing each button and dial according to its needs. There is no universal design. For example, Alpine uses a more rounded steering wheel, Williams has removed the digital display to reduce weight, and Ferrari opts for a multi-dial setup for more precise adjustments. The number of buttons continues to increase, with drivers having to manage energy recovery systems, team communication, fuel strategies and hundreds of settings in a matter of seconds while driving at speeds exceeding 300 km per hour. The steering wheel has evolved from a simple control ring to become the operations center of the most advanced car in motorsport. The question is, what's next? At first glance, a Formula One steering wheel looks more like a fighter jet cockpit than a part of a car. It's packed with buttons, dials and screens that allow drivers to control almost every aspect of the car without taking their hands off the wheel. Each of these functions is vital, as in a sport where every millisecond counts, any misadjustment can mean the difference between winning or being knocked out of the race. Each team designs its own steering wheel and customizes the placement of the buttons to suit its driver's preferences. No two steering wheels are the same on the grid, and each is optimized to ensure maximum performance. One of the most important elements is the speed limiter in the pit lane. At almost all circuits, the maximum speed allowed in the pit lane is 80 km per hour, except in Monaco, where the limit is 60 km per hour. To ensure that they do not exceed this threshold and avoid penalties, drivers activate the limiter just before entering the pits. This function keeps the car's speed constant without the driver having to modulate the throttle, allowing them to concentrate on precisely entering their garage and exiting without losing time. Another essential button is the neutral button. When the car is stopped but the engine is still running, this function allows any gear engaged to be deactivated without having to press the clutch. It is used at key moments such as pit stops, when the car stops on the grid before the start of the race or when a car goes off the track and needs to restart without stalling the engine. In the middle of a race, the DRS system is one of the most used strategic tools. This system reduces the aerodynamic load of the car by opening the rear wing, allowing higher speeds to be reached on the straights and making overtaking easier. However, it cannot be activated at any time. It is only enabled when a driver is less than a second away from the car in front and is within a specific area of the circuit. To activate it, drivers press a button on the steering wheel, and to deactivate it, they simply touch the brake or release the accelerator. One of the most advanced systems that drivers control from the steering wheel is the ERS, the energy recovery system. In today's hybrid engines, every time a driver brakes, part of the energy generated is stored in a battery and then reused to provide an additional boost of power. This system is key in modern Formula One, as it allows speed to be gained at strategic moments, such as when exiting a corner or on a long straight. Using steering wheel controls, drivers can decide how much energy to store and when to release it, adapting their strategy to the race conditions. Tire management is another critical aspect that drivers manage from the steering wheel. Using a dial, they can tell the team which tire compound they are using and modify the car's settings to optimize performance. Driving on soft tires, which offer more grip but wear out faster, is not the same as driving on hard tires, which are more durable but generate less traction. Adjusting the parameters on the steering wheel allows you to maximize tire life and find the perfect balance between speed and conservation. Another essential function is the team radio, the only channel of communication between the driver and the pit wall. During a race, the amount of information a driver receives is enormous, but through the radio he can receive strategic instructions in real time, know his position on the track, the difference with his rivals, and receive alerts about possible mechanical problems or incidents on the track. Similarly, drivers can report on the car's behavior, tire wear, or any technical faults they experience. In addition, the steering wheel allows drivers to modify the engine settings and fuel mixture. Depending on the strategy, they can select a more aggressive engine map to gain speed at key moments or reduce power to save fuel and extend engine life. In wet conditions, they can opt for a more conservative setting to improve traction and avoid skidding. The steering wheel also features a digital display on which drivers can see in real-time key information such as speed, gear engaged, lap times, engine temperature, and time differentials with their rivals. Depending on the session they are in, they can configure the display to highlight the most relevant information. In qualifying, they can prioritize split times, while in the race, they can focus on fuel consumption and tire wear. With so many functions integrated into a single device, the complexity of a Formula One steering wheel is extraordinary. Drivers must be able to make millisecond adjustments while driving at over 300 km per hour, managing race strategy with the same precision as an engineer on the pit wall. What was once a simple steering wheel is now the control center for the most advanced car in motorsport. The price of a Formula One steering wheel is a fact kept secret by the teams, but it is estimated that its cost can range from $50,000 to $100,000 or even more. This price is no coincidence, as the steering wheel is not just a mechanism for turning the car, but a high-tech device that concentrates an overwhelming amount of functions in a compact space. The development of an F1 steering wheel involves a considerable investment in research and cutting-edge materials. Each team designs its own steering wheel from scratch, optimizing it to suit the specific needs of its drivers and the aerodynamic concept of the car. Unlike road cars, where steering wheels are mass-produced, in Formula One each steering wheel is a unique piece that requires months of development and testing before being used in a race. One of the main factors driving up the cost of a steering wheel is the advanced technology it incorporates. F1 steering wheels are equipped with cutting-edge sensors, communication systems, and high-speed digital displays that allow drivers to receive real-time information and adjust car parameters in the middle of the race. Each button, dial, and lever is connected to the car's electronic control unit, allowing crucial aspects such as brake force distribution, fuel consumption, engine mode, or DRS activation to be modified. The materials used in its manufacture also influence its high price. Carbon fiber is the main structural component of the steering wheel, as it is extremely strong and light, ensuring that it can withstand the enormous G-forces generated in driving a car without adding unnecessary weight. In addition, titanium and magnesium alloys are used in the internal mechanisms to ensure durability and precision in each driver's action. Another factor that makes the steering wheel more expensive is customization. Each driver has a steering wheel designed specifically for the shape of his hands and his driving style. Before a steering wheel is manufactured, teams perform 3D scans of their driver's hands and create custom molds to ensure a perfect grip. This allows each button and dial to be placed in the most comfortable and accessible position for the driver, minimizing distractions and improving responsiveness in the race. F1 steering wheels are not static pieces of equipment either. During the season, teams constantly develop and improve their wheels, introducing new features and optimizing their ergonomics. A driver can use up to 3 different wheels in a single Grand Prix weekend, depending on the session and race conditions. Some of these wheels are dedicated to experimental testing, with configurations that may be implemented in future seasons if they prove effective. The cost of the wheel also includes the software and integration with the car's electronic systems. Programming the wheel is an extremely complex process, with each team designing its own user interface so that drivers can interpret the information intuitively. This means that each steering wheel must be synchronized with telemetry systems, the power unit, race strategy, and communication with the pit crew. Compared to other parts of the car, the steering wheel is one of the most expensive in terms of value per size. While a front wing or a set of brakes are expensive due to their impact on aerodynamics and performance, the steering wheel concentrates an impressive amount of functions in a small space, making it one of the most sophisticated and technologically advanced parts of the car. Although teams seek to reuse steering wheels as much as possible to reduce costs, damage and wear are inevitable. In the event of an accident or malfunction, replacing a steering wheel not only involves significant expense, but also time and resources to calibrate it and adapt it again to the driver's needs. The steering wheel of a Formula One car is the result of decades of technological evolution and represents the highest level of engineering applied to motorsport. Its price is a reflection of the precision, innovation and extreme customization required by a sport where every detail can make the difference between victory and defeat. Over the years, the steering wheel of a Formula One car has evolved from a simple steering wheel to the control center of the most advanced machine in motorsport. Each of its buttons and dials has a specific function, allowing drivers to manage race strategy, modify engine settings and optimize the performance of the car in real time. The steering wheel is more than just a tool for steering the car. It is the direct connection between the driver and the car, the bridge between precision engineering and split-second decision-making. Its evolution demonstrates how Formula One has pushed technology to the limit, turning every detail into an opportunity to gain performance. Next time you watch a race, take a look at what the driver does with the wheel. He's not just using it to take corners or maintain his line, but while racing at over 300 kilometers per hour, he's managing energy, modifying the balance of the car, communicating with the team and making decisions that can determine the outcome of the race. The steering wheel is at the heart of everything, and its complexity proves that Formula One is not just about speed, but also strategy, innovation and precision. Now that you know every detail about how it works, what do you think is the most important function of an F1 steering wheel? Leave it in the comments and share your opinion on which system you think is the most innovative. If you want more content about the technology behind Formula One, subscribe so you don't miss a single detail and turn on notifications to always be aware of the secrets that make this sport the ultimate expression of automotive engineering. See you in the next analysis, where we will delve into another key aspect of motorsport that you may not have known about.